guys, welcome back to Food Prep Guide. If you are someone who enjoys yogurt, who wants to make yogurt at home, or are someone who is storing powdered milk on your shelf for food storage, then this video is going to be for you. We're going to show you how to make homemade yogurt using powdered milk. It really is very, very simple and just a matter of basically reconstituting your powdered milk with water before moving through the processes. Now we already have a video on the channel on how to make homemade yogurt using fresh milk, which is what we normally do. But I just thought it would be fun to go ahead and show you how to do it with your powdered milk in case you just don't have milk on hand. You can still make some yogurt using your food storage. So it's pretty easy. Let's get started. By the way, if you would like help building your food storage, scroll down to the description box of this video and click this link for our free 1-year food storage plan. We calculated a year's supply of food for one person, then broke that data down into a week-by-week list of items to build your pantry on a budget. We'll send it straight to your inbox. If you're new here, we invite you to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you don't miss all of our upcoming food preservation, pantry storage, and gardening tutorials. Now back to the kitchen. To reconstitute our powdered milk, what we need to do is figure out how much total yogurt we need. Now I'm going to be making my yogurt in my thermal cooker. This is my favorite way to make yogurt. It's kind of like a set it and forget it. I don't really have to babysit it in the oven or in my dehydrator or even with a yogurt machine. It doesn't require any electricity other than bringing your milk to a boil, which if you had to, you could do that over outside on over a propane stove or in a grill. So this particular thermos holds just shy, well no, it holds almost exactly 3/4 of a gallon. And so I'm going to be making 3/4 of a gallon I need basically 3/4 gallon of milk to start with. So to do that, I essentially need 4 cups of powdered milk, and that is an entire quart. As you can see, this quart jar is not completely full, but it's going to be close enough to get me the milk that I need to make this yogurt. So I'm going to be adding 4 cups of powdered milk to this bowl here. The only difference in making yogurt, it's vacuum sealed, hold on a minute. The only difference in making yogurt with powdered milk versus fresh milk is simply reconstituting your powdered milk with water first. So I'm going to pour almost 4 cups of powdered milk into this bowl. And then to that, I need 14 cups of water to reconstitute it. This holds 8. There's 8 cups of water. And here is 6 more cups of water for a total of 14 cups of water. Now I'm just going to use my whisk and give that a good stir. So I mentioned that I need 3/4 of a gallon of milk, but I need to go back and mention that the measurements that I just gave you is going to give you pretty much a gallon of milk. I personally kind of found it difficult to try to figure out how to get the calculations, the ratios just right for a 3/4 of a gallon, and I didn't want to mess it up. So I just go ahead and make up a gallon at a time, and it just leaves me with a couple cups left over, which I just put in the fridge, and we can use that for cereal or whatever else. So if you were going to make a full gallon of yogurt, these measurements are what you would need. Okay, all we need to do is bring this milk to a boil. And I'm going to put my eye on medium heat. Milk does have a tendency, if you've never boiled it before, it does have a tendency to scorch pretty easily on the bottom. So I always have a wooden spoon or spatula or something on hand. I usually put it on top just to kind of help with any potential boiling over. But I'm going to be constantly coming through here, and about every maybe 3 minutes or so, I'm just going to, just kind of stir it a little bit, make sure it doesn't burn. And another quick note that I wanted to make is, what if you want yogurt that is lower fat? What if you want not whole milk yogurt? You can either use the instant non-fat milk powder, which is very common in grocery stores. We use whole milk powder. The taste is just superior for our taste buds, but you can certainly use the instant non-fat yogurt that is common in grocery stores, or you can use the whole milk powder and just dilute it with water more than the ratio that I gave you. So you can use less milk powder to more water to get a lower, to get more of like a 2% milk versus a whole milk. So I just wanted to mention that real quick. So we're going to bring this to a boil, and as soon as it is boiling, we'll be back with the next step. Okay, the yogurt has just come to a boil, so I'm going to take it off the heat immediately. As soon as it comes to a boil, I'm going to take it off the heat. Give it a good stir one last time. And it's just going to sit here and cool down until it gets to a certain temperature. So you will want to have either candy thermometer, a meat thermometer, some kind of, or even just a plain old manual temperature thermometer. But I like to use this is technically a grill thermometer, a meat thermometer, but the only thing I've ever used this for is bread making and yogurt making. It's just been a good little handy tool. I'll have it linked in the description box below. But we want this milk to come down to somewhere between 75 degrees Fahrenheit and 85 degrees Fahrenheit. That's kind of the window of temperature that we want our milk to come down to. And the whole reason we're doing this is so that the temperature of the milk does not kill off the good bacteria that's in our yogurt culture. When we add our yogurt culture in a minute, if this temperature is too hot, it will kill off the good bacteria and kind of defeat the purpose of why we are making delicious, gut-friendly yogurt. So that's why we are bringing it down in temperature. We're going to wait. It takes, generally, it depends on the environment around where this is sitting. But in my experience, it generally takes almost 2 hours to come down to that temperature. Sometimes quicker, sometimes longer. It doesn't normally go longer than that, but an hour and a half to 2 hours, that's when I'm going to start really checking and seeing where we're at with the temperature. So I will show you when we are at that temperature what it reads, and then move on with the next step. Okay, it has been about an hour and a half, and I really need to get this done, so I'm hoping that it is at least below 100 degrees Fahrenheit. You know, we got to get things done, right? We all have schedules, we all have routines, we all have appointments and all that kind of thing, and we need to make our homemade treats work around our schedule. So it might not be between 75 and 85. Let's see where we're at. 97, 95. Okay, it's jumping back and forth between 97 and 95. And the window, remember, is 75 degrees Fahrenheit to 85 degrees Fahrenheit is ideal. Anything below that, and you're absolutely guaranteed not to kill off any of the bad bacteria, or the good bacteria in our yogurt starter, but below 100 degrees is acceptable. It's not perfect, but it is acceptable. So I need acceptable today because I need to get going on some other things. So I'm going to pour the milk into this thermal cooker. It should be, okay, yep. I've got, like I said, about 2 cups left over. We've got this completely full. I don't want to tilt it over because it is very full. So now we need to have some live cultures. So you want to get some yogurt. If this is your very first batch, you will need to buy yogurt from the store. Make sure to check the ingredients list and that it says live active cultures on it. Or you can purchase starter online. But once you make your batch of yogurt, as long as you save about a 1/4 cup, 3 tablespoons, a 1/4 cup of your yogurt, you can use that to continue starting your next batch. And as long as you continue saving that 3 tablespoons or a 1/4 cup worth, you won't have to buy it again. I don't ever measure. I just do you can see about the size of a dollop that I have, and you can see the size of the spatula that I have to give you a frame of reference. And then you want to mix that in really, really well. Mix in that yogurt starter really, really well into your milk. Okay, now we just put the lid on and let it sit overnight. It is approximately 3 p.m. right now. Whoops. And I'm going to let this go until tomorrow morning. It's just gonna sit over here on my counter. And then tomorrow morning, it will go straight into the refrigerator and let it chill for several hours, and it's ready. It will be thickened, and it will be actually yogurt by tomorrow morning without being refrigerated. It just will not taste very good. You definitely want to chill it before you enjoy it, because it doesn't taste very good warm. But putting it in the refrigerator doesn't necessarily turn it into yogurt. It's already turned into yogurt by the time we've gone overnight. But you just want to refrigerate it for maximum taste wise. So we will be back tomorrow morning, and I will open this for the first time and show you the consistency of the yogurt. I just pushed this down. I do want to show you that real quick because it is important. There's a little flap right here on my thermal cooker, and it was open, so I just pushed it down. If your thermal cooker has a little vent right here, you do want to make sure that that is closed if you're going to be using this method. Okay, we'll be back tomorrow morning. Okay, here we are. I transferred this to the fridge the morning after making it, and then it's been in the fridge for about 12 hours. And if you are going to be using a thermal cooker like this one, you do want to release this valve right here. One time, but when I didn't know really how to use it, I unlocked the lid and tried to open it, and I could not get it open. Well, it was just amazing to me because there was nothing holding it down, but it was suctioned like that. So I'll give that little flap, open that flap up. And here we are. There's a bunch of liquid on top. Let me get you a scoop so you can see up close the consistency. And that is totally yogurt. Now you could absolutely strain this, all this liquid, you could strain this through a nut milk bag or some cheesecloth and create Greek yogurt if you would like that. We like it just how it is, nice and smooth and not too terribly thick. I mean, it's plenty thick. It's not like falling off my spoon right now. I do like that so you can see how it falls. So it's definitely not straight liquid, but it's definitely not Greek yogurt. But at this point, if you do want Greek yogurt, just strain it through a cheesecloth. As far as flavoring, if you are brand new to making homemade yogurt, I will say that your jams and jellies and syrups make excellent flavoring additives for your yogurt. So if you're someone who cans up some jams and jellies and syrups throughout the year, that's an excellent way to use up your pantry, your preserved pantry items. Of course, you can use them from the store as well. That works just fine. Another thing that works fantastic is if you dehydrate and make your own fruit powders, whether you use a regular dehydrator or a freeze dryer, your fruit powders work really well in this. Strawberry powder is absolutely amazing inside this. And I like to get the triple berry frozen bags from the store. It's blueberries, strawberries, and what's the other one? I think it's cherries. Maybe blackberries. It's a mixture of 3 or 4 berries, and I think it's called triple berry. But dehydrating those and then powdering them and using that as a flavor for your yogurt is fantastic as well. So anyway, I hope that was helpful to y'all. Remember, this was powdered milk, and you can get some great homemade yogurt out of it. We'll see y'all next time. Bye.